Well, an ongoing coverage of the commodities and retail trading frenzy today, we thought we'd get a company level view of what the squeeze means for the bottom line of some of the Aussie listed silver miners. So our next guest is the MD of a local mine who runs only a pure play project of its kind. To find out more, let's get Andrew McIlwain. He is the MD of Investigator Resources and he joins us now. Andrew, great to go and see you there. Thank you for joining us on the program. Look, a week ago, did you think you'd be talking to the media about a short squeeze resulting in your company share price jackknifing higher only to come falling back down?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be on the screen today. Look, for the last year, I've been trying to talk to the media about silver, but certainly the last week or two, people's interest has been piqued. The move over $35 Australian for us is, and that's I talk about Australian dollar per ounce silver, is great. But we're pretty comfortable when it's over $30 Aussie anyway.
So Andrew, we got you here now. So how are you going to use your newfound fame? What can you go and tell us about Investigator Resources?
Well, I suppose the catchphrase at the moment is if you're thinking about investing in silver, you need to be thinking about Investigator because we've got the highest grade project in Australia. And we don't have the challenges being based in the middle of South Australia. We don't have the same challenges that some of our peers on the East Coast or the Eastern Seaboard would have in relation to community, environment, watershed, pastoralists and so on. So $1.5 billion worth of silver in the ground at the moment.
And let's talk then the fundamentals. Why silver is not something to be squeezed, but something to be invested in because of what? Where do you see the real fundamentals coming through for silver in the years to come?
Sure. Look, there's the old supply and demand equation is a little more difficult in the silver space than it is in some of the base metals such as copper and lead and so on. Certainly, if you look at the typical silver-only producers that are predominantly in South America, their head grades have declined dramatically over the last 10 years, probably halved. Silver use is starting to really escalate in whether it be electric vehicles, solar panels and so on, and we're not seeing certainly the recycling of the metal that might have happened historically.
Andrew, you mentioned the size of your resource there at your site, so obviously you're quite a way through the exploratory phase. Pre-feasibility study is due in March. What are you looking at? Can you give us any insight as to whether the project may go ahead or not?
Look, past performance is not always a great indicator of future performance, but every time a resource has been represented on the Paris Silver Project, the grade and the contained ounces has gone up by about 20%. Our initial drilling, we've released to the market 2 results in November, December. The grades we are seeing, and I refer to them as some eye-watering grades, but the grades are starting to hang together. We expect to see that resource increase substantially.
And talk to me about grades in silver. What type of a difference does that make when it comes to the price realized and the types of offtake agreements that you can secure?
Sure. Look, I suppose grade's king in anybody's game. It's very difficult to get people in Australia to get a good understanding of the magnitude of this project, but if you track the gold-silver ratio, which is still above its historic average at about 70 to 1, we've got a resource sitting in the ground now that's equivalent to about a 500,000 ounce gold project at 2 grams. Now, if that was sitting within 150 kilometres of Kalgoorlie, it would have been mined 20 years ago. So it's a great grade comparative to our peers, and I don't want to speak ill of our peers, but our primary silver grades 2 and 3, and if not 4 times the grade of our peers in Australia.
Andrew, you had about 13.6 million in cash in the bank at the end of the calendar year. Given that there's a lot of talk about silver at the moment, how are you positioned with your balance sheet? Do you want to go and use this opportunity to go potentially upgrade your bank balance and maybe go and expand this exploratory and start developing the site further?
Look, we had a great outcome at the end of 2020 when about 250 holders of our options exercised their options. We've put another $7 million in the bank. It's sort of the easiest money I've ever raised. So as you say, we're well cashed up at the moment. We've had a clear objective of looking for an asset to diversify ourselves as well. We'd love to be in the precious metal space and particularly in gold project domestically. Our major shareholder, the Merian Gold and Silver Fund, is a precious metal specialist investment fund. They jumped back in our placement in August last year, took themselves up to a 15% position again. They are very keen to see us being in the precious metal space. So balance sheet's very strong, depending over the last week, our market capitalization's moved from 100 to 150 and back again. So, we're in a good position, great cash position. Our plans at Paris certainly won't consume our cash balance, and we'll use it wisely looking for something else.
Hey, well, Andrew, I'm glad that we've met. I'm glad we've got Investigator Resources on our radar, and we look forward to catching up with you as we get more information coming.
Look, thanks very much, and it's going to be an exciting year for us. We've got about 20,000 samples from the drill program, which was the largest drill program conducted in South Australia last year. They're going to be coming through. We'll have a resource update, and as you said at the start, we'll have a PFS announced. So if you're thinking silver, think Investigator.
All right, well, call us. We'll stay in touch. Andrew McIlwain, MD of Investigator Resources. Take care.
Thank you. My pleasure.